Hello everybody, welcome back to the lab, and today we're going to have a little discussion, alright? Something that's been on my mind for a little bit of time now. I've had this rumbling around with all the other mumble jumble that's up there, but this has been kind of weighing heavy on me because it's a question that I've been asking for a very long time. So I kind of wanted to get this video out there. Please enjoy this footage of some overtime match point ranked gameplay with Capcan and Finka, whatever, while we discuss it. And I want this to be a discussion, so please feel free to give me back your input and your feedback and your comments and your questions and your concerns and your insults, because that's what this is all about. This is why I'm making this video. So, yeah, enjoy, and let's get into it, shall we? So, Rainbow Six Siege has entered its 4th year of existence, and with allegedly 45 million players and counting, the game is still growing every day. That number would suggest that the game is in a healthy state and that things are going smoothly. However, anyone who has played Siege for an extended amount of time will gladly air their grievances with the game to you in any given match you're paired in. And there is certainly much to complain about, from operators being completely busted upon release, exploits taking forever to be addressed, an increasingly toxic community, or senseless nerfs and buffs being given without much rhyme or reason. People have plenty to gripe about. But with that said, there are still 45 million players who keep coming back for more. Why is that? What is it about this game that hooks people despite its glaring flaws? I've thought long and hard about this, and I think I've got it, at least for me personally. And I can't speak for everyone here, but this is what I've came up with. Rainbow Six Siege is the ultimate chess match. For starters, no other game can catch my attention quite like it. During other games, I often find my mind wandering, checking my phone during pauses and whatnot, but with Siege, I can't do that. I am so dialed into the action on my screen, focused on the gameplay, listening to every sound, paying attention to every detail. The games are intense. The smallest missteps will result in certain death. Still, there is a lot of information to process in any given round, and slip-ups are bound to happen. The team that commits fewer is usually the team that wins. No other game rewards team creativity quite like Siege does. Every operator has their own strengths and weaknesses, we all know that, and the game allows for a lot of thinking because of this. Outsmarting your opponents isn't just about predicting where your enemy will be or having better aim. It's about coming up with new and unpredictable ways to use your gadgets. It's about opening sneaky or outside the box lines of sights that your foes won't see coming. It's about all of that. I love a game that lets you complete objectives however you wish to do them. There's something to be said about some creative freedom in that respect. I really like that Siege allows for that. There are so many variables and so many ways every round can play out that Siege is a game that is very hard to become stale to those who play it. That's because every single game, every single round you play is going to play out a little bit differently. Even if you're doing the same exact thing on offense or defense and taking the same approach, the same strategy over and over again, you can't predict how your opponents are going to react to that. It's because of this that the game is always different, and I love that. It feels like a new experience every single time. I mean, there's only so many maps in the game, right? And we've played these maps however many times, but the outcomes are always different, and I love that. I love that we use these maps as our playgrounds for this kind of ultimate destruction and mayhem, and we can get as creative as we want within these confines, or even outside of these confines for some people. Some of these people that like to run out and get really crazy with it on defense, but it's incredible that we're able to repeatedly play these same game modes. There's only 3 game modes if you're not including Terrorist Hunt. There's Hostage, Secure Area, and Bomb. And we play these 3 modes over and over. I've got hundreds of hours logged into this game. And I still want more. I still keep coming back for more because I love the excitement. I love the rush. I love coming up with new ways and new strategies to attack or defend. And when you do come up with these new strategies and you share them with your allies, your friends, it's really cool. You feel like you're really doing something. It feels like you're really a part of Team Rainbow and coming up with the best possible solutions to these problems. I've had many games result in no blood being shed at all because it is, at the end of the day, no matter what anybody tells you, very objective driven. And that is the highest priority, and it should be. I'm very famous among my friends for saying it's not about kills. I say that all the time, and it's become sort of a meme at this point, but it's so true. It's not about kills. It's not about how good you are at shooting. While it definitely helps, and that there's a certain role as a fragger that you can play with your ability to get kills, it's not the end all be all. It's about teamwork. It's about wins. It's about winning. It's about working as a team and getting that W. Siege is a very team-based game. It totally is. The 5v5 action really requires for coordination and synchronization between you and your allies. But on the flip side, you can definitely feel the presence of just a single elite player on the team. Similar to other 5v5 sports like basketball, for example, you really feel the presence of a truly elite player. They can make such an impact on the game at any given time and any given round. LeBron James, for example, when he's on the court. You can just feel his presence on every aspect of the game. Siege is no different. When you are playing with or against a truly elite diamond, plat, whatever level player, you feel them taking over the game. You feel their strengths all over the place, not only in terms of just aiming and shooting, but in their positioning and their use of their gadgets. Everything is just top tier level. So when you get killed by these guys, all you can do is really tip your cap in the kill cam. Of course, maybe you'll call them sweaty and mouse and keyboard, but a lot of times these guys are just pros and they've been playing the game for a long time. And you get better as you play, of course you do. That's just like with anything else. But despite that, yes, teamwork is important. If you don't have that elite player on your team, or you're all elite players playing against other all elite players, which happens, you need to communicate. It's very vital to your team's success. Without communication, you don't have a game plan intact. And if you don't have a game plan intact, then you've really lost before you even started. It's very important to be on the same page, and there's nothing like when you're really clicking and you and your teammates are rolling and you're winning round after round and you guys are on fire. That's the feeling that I keep coming back for personally. I love the camaraderie that is shared between me and my friends when we're on rolls and streaks like that. There's nothing quite like it. Other games can imitate it, but I don't think other games truly duplicate it. It's a one-of-a-kind experience in Rainbow Six Siege, and coming from hardcore search and destroy from Call of Duty to this was it just took that mode that I liked from COD and just turned it up to the max volume. I wish that I had this game in my youth, but I'm glad I have it now because I feel like I have a more developed mind that can appreciate it for what it is. And it's the ultimate tactical first-person shooter. It really is. That's all I can really say about it. I mean, how do you guys feel about Siege? Do you love it? Do you love it as much as I do? I feel like this community complains so much about the game because we love it and we want it to do well and we want it to succeed and continue to grow. Of course we do. Of course that's why we complain, right? I mean, if we didn't, it would mean we didn't care about how the game does, which is simply not the case. As the player count keeps rising, we'll tell you that. I think that if we stopped complaining as a community, it would mean that we are satisfied with the game. And while I very much do like it, as you can tell from this video, there's still stuff that can be better. And I want the game to be better. That's kind of the boat that I sit in. How do you guys feel? Do you love the game? Or do you play it just simply because you're too invested at this point? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time on the lab.
Good shit, boys. Ammo in 8 and 8.